Mother ass. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the Donyaverse. My name is Donya Kalashnikov. If you are new here, welcome. Let's have a lot of fun. If you come back, I'm very happy to see you again. I appreciate that a very, very, very lot. Today I want to share an amazing story about my inner child and how my inner child taught a very strict, firm lesson to Buddha himself. That was back in 2018. I was traveling in Nepal for about 2.5 months. And yeah, I was in that Buddhist monastery over there, like, just as Westerners do. So there was like a course, let's say a crash course for Westerners in Buddhism. So within 10 days, we did a lot of meditations and a lot of teachings, all in, like really kind of boiled it down to the basics of what all these monks and nuns in these monasteries would meditate on for, 30, 40 years in a row. So yeah, it was a very, very beautiful place too. It was very, very amazing. Um, and yeah, how was that? So, well, it was, we had to wake up early in the morning, about 5. We would have our morning meditation, and after the morning meditation, we would have our breakfast. And the story that I want to share was, I think, day 5, I think. And I already learned quite a lot about Buddhism and how that works and what the teachings are about, like somehow at least. It's been quite full on. I was also silent for a couple of days too, which was an option you could take, which is very, like, highly recommendable. Like, just be silent for a little while is quite relieving. Yeah. Anyhow, day 5. I woke up in the morning and I looked around and saw all these white breads around me, all these Westerners, and kind of thought, like, what the fuck are we actually doing here? Like, what is this really about? Like, is this for real? Like, we go to Nepal, we are so fucking spoiled and all of that, and now we kind of try to reach our enlightenment next to our 9 to 5 jobs, or what? Like, honestly. And I so did not want to wake up at 5 in the morning. I mean, who the hell wants to do that, for Christ's sake, for meditation? So yeah, I was waking up with, a lot of resistance to it, but I learned enough to, just watch myself, because this is kind of what you're supposed to do. You kind of detach from your thoughts and your emotions, and you just watch them as a witness, basically. And so yeah, I just kind of, watched myself being in all this resistance to it, and all my judgments that I had towards, us spoiled Westerners doing that stuff. And I wondered if that's even okay or not to do so. And I didn't buy it from a lot of people too, you know, um, which is, like, all my judgments. It was all inside of me. So I watched that, and it really couldn't hear anything about it anymore. Like, it's been 5 days already, and I just kind of thought, like, oh my God, give me a break. So the morning meditation started. Um, and with all my resistance, I was sitting there quite stubborn and kind of thought, like, fuck, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Oh my God, like, this is so boring. This is so stupid. Like, what is this anyway? And yeah, I would go into that meditation, and I do have to say, it was the best meditation I've ever had. For it didn't took long, let's say 10 minutes or so in this meditation, a vision would come up, a scenery, very clear. Like, it was like clear as day. Like, it was very, very clear. And my inner child would talk to Buddha and would really be pissed off with him. Like, honestly, I'm not talking that down at all. Like, my inner child was so pissed off with Buddha. And it was going like that. You know what, Buddha? You are dumb. You have no idea. You don't get the whole story. You tell everyone and everything all the time. Life is about meditation and detachments and don't desire anything and everything's about enlightenment and all that stuff. You don't get the whole story. You don't get a tiny thing. Buddha, life is about playing. And that was amazing. Honestly, like, I was so proud of my inner child. Like, Buddha was smiling, like his Buddha smile. He really appreciated my inner child talking to him like that. Like honestly, he had a lot of respect. Like, this was on eye level, like this was not him above my inner child or my inner child above him. Like, this was totally in mutual respect in a way still, on eye level. And he was smiling about it, and he did find it very cute and very amazing, and he did listen very, very properly and thought, like, I think you're right. Like, he didn't say that, but he kind of had that acknowledging of that. And after that scenery unfolded, I was so, so proud of my inner child. And I thought, like, oh my God, like, I could never do this. Like, honestly, me as an adult in Nepal, in a Buddhist monastery, giving Buddha a lesson and telling him that he is dumb, like, I could never do that. Like, oh my God, like, he should not do that anyway. But my inner child just did it. Totally honest in everything, There was so much appreciation about life itself in her rant against him. And yeah, then I realized a lot of things. And the whole rest of the stay in the monastery and the meditations were quite amazing too. For my inner child was a part of it. So we played that game, meditation. You know? We played the game, me as a Westerner being with all these white breads in Nepal. Like, nothing against Westerners and white breads. I'm sorry being like so rude. But I would just leave it like that. I think you get it. Like, honestly, because I love them. I love every person in so many ways. But I also accept my resistance to some things. And yeah, I kind of always think, well, if we try to help all these other countries, developing countries as we call it, I think the help should be vice versa, because we can learn maybe even more from them than we can teach those people. And this was quite full on when I was traveling in Nepal, how beautiful the country was, how beautiful these people were, how much love and appreciation they had, and how we just totally lost track on everything. Like, we totally missed so many things. Like, we have a huge lack of love in our society. For no reason, really. But they do have very strong family structures, and they are very, very happy. I've never seen so many happy people at all in my whole entire life than I would have seen in Nepal. So all of that was like, a bit of my story why I was so resistant to it. So please forgive me if you feel caught up that I call you a white bread. Like, this is not against you. Just see it as my monkey judgment, because I'm just doing monkey stuff here, right? So yeah, I just really wanted to share this beautiful story with you. So, life is about playing. And your inner child knows it, my inner child knows it. And ever since I realized my biggest teacher that I have in my life is my inner child. Screw the rest of it. My inner child. She is a tough one, man. Like, she is pretty fucking on point, and she is really, really cool. And if life is about playing, I think this is hard enough and enough of a challenge, isn't it? So think about it. Let me know what you think. Write it down in the comments. Maybe you have similar ideas, or maybe you totally disagree with it. Totally fine with it. Like, really, just let me know what you think. I'm very happy about it. And hit these buttons. And I love you. And see you soon. Ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah.